Shaykh. My question is mostly around the law of attraction. It's a very recent phenomena that's gaining a lot of popularity in the Muslim and the non-Muslim world. There's a famous book called The Secret, and then there are a couple other documentation, and a lot of spiritual leaders who are non-Muslims like Deepak Chopra and other people talk about law of attraction, the power of positive thinking, and how positive thinking can gain you what you really think about or meditate about.
Right.
And I've really had a hard time looking up Muslim stance on law of attraction. I haven't found a valid or any kind of a legitimate source that either criticizes it or supports it from Islamic perspective.
Okay, so in terms of the law of attraction, explain a little bit for people listening. Explain a little bit of what it is and how to understand it.
So the way when I read it was that if you really want something, and there's a book called The Alchemist that says, it's popularized by that book, if you really want something, the universe conspires along with you for you to have that. So that can be a material thing, a sentimental love for anyone. So I would say if I want a car, a Tesla Model X, and I'm positive about it and start meditating and thinking about it, some people even go to an extent saying you should have it for 68 seconds in your mind and be positive about it and let it be. Just think about it and things will happen and the law of universe will conspire. And that's when I kind of get shaky about the law of universe, right? What is the universe they talk about? For us Muslims, there's only one deity that we report to, and we believe that Allah is our master, right?
Okay, so to try and capture this, firstly there's a hadith that says, hadith Qudsi, which is in Bukhari as well, and it says, "Ana inda dhanni abdi bi, wa ana ma'ahu idha dhakarani." So I am as my servant thinks me to be. Right? So what that means is that the way you would have a thought about Allah, Allah will treat you like that. Okay, so this is a basic of like for example, some of the scholars in the past said that if you were to sit here and if a person was to sort of you just lie down like this and slouch and say that I'm ill, I'm not feeling well, and they carry on thinking like that, then they will actually become ill, right? I think it was Ibn Sina that I think said this, right? And if a person is ill or not feeling well and they carry on thinking, I'm good, I'm healthy and so on. If they carry on thinking that, then there will be an effect of that they will actually become better quicker, at least, right? Now, we're not saying, look, we as Muslims don't believe in the law of attraction like you've explained it exactly like that. So I'm going to come to another side, but let me just tell you, for example, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would visit anyone when they're ill, he would say, "La ba'sa tahurun insha'Allah." Don't worry about it. It's a way of getting rid of your sins. And he would say, "Shafaq Allah, may Allah, cure you, shifa'an ajilan, quickly," and so on. Now, he's always talking positive. Why? Because if you have a positive way of thinking, then yes, you will. What we believe is that the one thing that I'm positive, my Allah will give me something good. So Allah Azza wa Jal will also, inshallah, give you something good. Now, here's the difference between where the law of attraction is and Islam is, because we've got another section here which is about the qadr.
Basic, yeah.
Right? So now qadr is something that is a matter you can't just capture it within a few minutes. All right, so I'm going to try and give the best that I can with reference to law of attraction. So Allah Azza wa Jalla has written fate for us, which is good, which is bad. Now the fate can change. Some fate can't change, some fate can change, and it's even in the Quran that fate can change. And even the hadith says, for example, a servant of God will be deprived from a certain qadr or a fate Allah is going to give to him, or a rizq. He will be deprived from that because of a sin that he committed. So innal abda yuhramu min al-rizq, something along those lines, bidhanbin yusibu, because of a sin he did. So a certain thing Allah was going to provide him, he will not provide him. So that shows that qadr is having an effect on what we do. But he also said, la yarudda al-qadra illa ad-du'a. Nothing can change qadr except for dua, right? So where you feel something really bad might happen, okay, you can actually make dua today, and it's not going to happen tomorrow. Okay, the same works the other way, because if you upset your parents, for example, and your parents, are hurt in the heart, and they have a bad dua coming towards you, all right, something that they will really upset with you, then the hadith says that there's no veil between Allah and the parents, that basically that thing comes out of the heart will go straight to Allah, and it's going to get, or for example, a mazloom, the one who's been oppressed, when they make dua from the heart, then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that be careful of the curse or the dua that a oppressed person might make against the one who's oppressing them, right? So qadr has a play beyond our reasoning and beyond what we might sort of see. Okay, now there's another thing which is mashi'ah, right? Which is Allah Azza wa Jal has got His will and the servant has got their will. Okay, I can sit here and I can think, yeah, I'm going to get this, like you said, about I want to get Tesla, and I will get a Tesla. Now, what happens is, we believe that there is a limit within which Allah Azza wa Jal has put you in, right? And how much He wants to give you, for whatever reason it is. So here's where we believe the hikmah of Allah, the wisdom of Allah. So let's say, for example, I want to get rich and I want to get a Tesla and I want to have a big house, right? So I'm sitting here, I want it, and inshallah I'll get it. Now, what we believe is, if Allah Azza wa Jal, obviously we believe that Allah knows the future. So if in Allah's knowledge it's written that once I get the big house and I get the Tesla and I get a lot of money, and I could slowly start to dwindle away from the deen, now not everyone will dwindle, but let's say in my case, if that's going to happen, then Allah's hikmah, His wisdom and His love for me could mean that, no, I'm not going to give it to you, right? So He's going to prevent me. So although I spend my life with a positive mind, which is good for me anyway, I end up not getting it. I may feel a little bit sort of down on not getting what I wanted, but when I end up in the akhirah, I'm going to be very happy, because Allah would have told me that, look, this is where you were going to end up, and I saved you from that, and I kept you in a little bit behind. So this is the mashi'ah, which is that if you actually achieve something, you've got to have your will and the will of God come together, right? So you can make the will, but unless God doesn't make the will, it's not going to happen. So the Quranic ayah says, وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ رَبُّ الْعَالَمِينَ, right? Which means that there's got to be a two-way process. Now, Allah knows what will I'm going to make, but will He actually go with His will also meet my will? As in, He wants me to have this. That's a separate thing. Now, sometimes you could make the intention of something, right? You could get it, but it may not be the best thing for you, right? Now Allah's told us in the whole Quran, Asa an takrahu shay'an wa huwa khayr lakum. Sometimes you dislike something, but it's actually good for you. Wa asa an tuhibbu shay'an wa huwa sharrun lakum. Sometimes you love something, but it's bad for you. Wallahu ya'lam wa antum la ta'lamun. Allah knows and you don't know. Okay. Now when it comes back to this law of attraction, right, of all of this. What we as Muslims should do is be like the Prophet ﷺ, which is you be positive in everything, right? You be positive. Now, of course, you're going to keep the negative. We don't believe that you should only be optimistic and only have positivity. No. We also believe, like in the Quran, that there are concepts of, regret being, or a lesson in life being something that changes you. And the Quran's full of stories where people, or let's say, let's talk about the people of Yunus alayhi salam, right? Their prophet left them, they regretted it, they thought the punishment was going to come, they went and met him, and then they believed and they became a changed people, right? Sometimes bad things happen to you for a good reason, okay? So this law of attraction thing should not be seen as, okay, everyone's got to just become positive all the time and have, optimistic thing. No, we believe there's got to be a healthy balance between optimism and pessimism. Right? Because pessimism is needed sometimes to go back to optimism, and pessimism is needed for reflection in life, to make sure that you don't make the mistakes you're gonna make. Now, too much pessimism is really bad. Too much optimism is really bad. A healthy balance where you have a little bit of pessimism, but you have more optimism in there, and with positive and negativity, You have positive thoughts, but you're also ready for a negative side. Now, this is really important. If you don't prepare yourself, like one of the beautiful ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ, which gives the balance, is the hadith where it says, the Prophet ﷺ is saying, "Ihris ala ma yanfa'uk, wa la ta'jiz." So try and be covetous to do things that are going to benefit you, and don't fall short. But then he says, so what happens is, if something goes wrong, right? If something goes wrong, the Prophet ﷺ is saying to say, "Qaddar Allahu ma sha'a fa'al." Right? So he's saying something happens wrong, don't just sit there and say, why, if I did this, if I did that, right? But he said, say "Qaddar Allahu ma sha'a fa'al." Allah has willed it, and it's happened. So you kind of move on, right? Now the hadith explains to us that we've got to, yes, remain positive, but we've also got to be ready for anything that a musibah, an affliction, whatever might happen. And we never look at it as, okay, the affliction came because either of my thoughts, because law of attraction says that the musibah or the bad thing in my life came because I was thinking negative. No. The Quran identifies that musibah comes for a test. Sometimes it comes because he wants to shake me up. Sometimes it comes because he wants to take me to Jannah quicker. Because you will get to Jannah quicker through a test that you had to have patience, than to have a good sort of prosperous situation where you're not sort of tested and you're doing your ibadah comfortably. The one who's in affliction can get to Jannah very more quicker if they have the patience. All right. And affliction sometimes comes because I did something bad and Allah wants to punish me in this world. And if He punishes me in this world, it's a good thing in one way. I know. May Allah never give us punishment. Okay.
Sure.
But if it ever comes, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has told us in Bukhari that if any one of you has sinned and Allah has decided to punish you, because first thing is Allah will forgive us, right?
Sure.
But if Allah decides to punish us, then the punishment in this world is a lot better than having the punishment in the next world. Right? So the punishment is something like, you get a cold, you get a little spot or something, and it bugs you get a little shoulder pain, whatever it might be, right? These are all things by which Allah Azza wa Jal takes the sins away. Okay?
Sure.
So the way we understand negative things in life is that Allah Azza wa Jal decided this for a reason I don't understand today, but I will understand tomorrow. And yes, you're right also. From the early hadith I said, if you think Allah's gonna not do things right for me, Allah's not gonna do things right for me, then it's gonna go that way, right? Because you're bringing it on yourself. Why are you thinking about that about Allah? You're supposed to think things are gonna go well, but when things go wrong, we don't look at it from us, right? We say that Allah sent you for a good reason, right? We don't say Allah is evil. Na'udhu billah. We don't say Allah's done something bad to me and is cruel to me. No, we say Allah's done it for a greater reason I don't understand, but when I get to Akhirah I will understand. Right? So I keep my head above with positivity as I move along in life. But the healthy balance of being prepared for the negative side is really important, because what happens is a lot of these books, like the books that you mentioned, they only they talk one side.
They do.
Right? I will tell you a book. Now you're going to be surprised by this, but inshallah I want to do a whole lecture on this. But I'll give the book name here. But you need to get this book.
Sure.
But people are going to be surprised with the name of this book, so I'm going to say it hesitantly. Right? I heard about it from another scholar, and then I got the book and I'm reading it at the moment. But it actually is like it actually balances it gives the other side of all the law of attraction. Right? It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving A, and then it's got the F word there.
Okay.
Right? Okay. I think it's by Mark Manson. Right? It's a really good book by Mark Manson. It's one of the bestsellers. But if you look at the cover, you can say, wow, I'm not buying that book, right? And the first 3 chapters, the guy swears like anything, na'udhu billah, but he actually has got very good points, right? So just skip the swear words or replace them with damn, or whatever, right? So you should be okay. So does that answer some of your questions?
Yes, Sheikh. This is truly a blessing, because we were mostly surrounded by traditional sheikhs, who were given just the Islamic tarbiyah. As the new generation of sheikhs like you and others that we are surrounded by now, who are actually putting everything in perspective of the present world and what Islam teaches us. So this is a very, very enlightening session for me. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Hayakullah.
Thank you very much.
Good night, inshallah.